not your slaves, and you will be defeated.
Okay, we are going now, today, Tuesday, March 17th, 2009. Gonna throw up a couple of more news articles for this episode. Gonna attempt to try and keep it short. Not sure how long it's exactly going to run. And we're also gonna try and put the articles we're talking about up on screen for you so you can actually see them. And so that might, help give a little bit. Even if you don't go to research it, then you can't really dispute it if you're actually seeing it on screen. First, we're gonna do an article that was on ABC News' website, and it's about the downturn of the economy, the way it's going right now with the stocks and people losing their job, homeless on the rise, everything. It's desperate people turn criminals now. That it's getting so bad for them, they're resulting to acts they normally wouldn't under other circumstances. There was a South Carolina man who was actually a church deacon, was arrested robbing a bank right there, and he's even told the judge that he knew it was out of his character. He's not exactly sure what was going on, but that's the way things are with the times they're going right now. There's also a father of two 17-year-old twins, was also robbing banks. I think the total amount was $100,000 right there, because he lost everything he owned in stocks. So another thing right there, you got middle class trying to play the stock market, wound up losing everything, and a lot of people are resorting to violence. And if there's ever some kind of a biological attack or food shortages or anything like that, it's a lot of the people, the masses, will go haywire because they're completely uninformed, not knowing what's going on. So when something does happen, they're not exactly sure how to handle it, to do anything. It's a bad situation, because that's also going to be used against the rising majority of us who have a grasp of the concepts. There was also another news article over there on ABC dealing with Russia and Obama, and some people may or may not have heard about the letter he wrote to actually Russia, the leader of Russia over there. But Obama said it wasn't about it was about keeping Iran from getting nuclear capabilities, nuclear arms. That if we did that, we wouldn't have a need for missiles in Poland and in the East European area. And also double talked a little bit when he was asked about that letter, saying it wasn't a quid pro quo agenda. It's not a talking with Russia. It's not a you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours type of deal for us helping each other out. Saying that basically it was a good idea for all countries if you kept Iran from getting nuclear arms. When at the same time you have Hillary Clinton actually trying to work with Iran to get them to fight against the Afghans, which if you've studied Webster Tarpley, you already know some of Obama's handlers. They're talking about using Iran to go up against Russia. So if Iran took over Afghan and right from there gateway right into Russia. So if you wanted to actually see that story, it was actually mentioned on Fox News on the 16th last night. But there's an article, the one I'll put up was actually from New York Daily News, but there's also an article on CNN where Hillary was inviting Iran to Afghan talks. Now, also, we're going to go on, changing subject out of that. We're going to go global here. There are some new studies talked about global warming is supposedly getting worse than they originally thought it was. And they started the whole thing back in 1988 with their NASA director of Goddard Institute for Space Studies, Hansen, talking about the whole thing, the levels of CO2 still rising, and it was at 385 ppm parts per million. And AU panel said that the highest it'd be a ceiling that they should allow it to get to was 450 parts per million. If I am able to do some fact checking, or somebody wanted a comment put up on there what the actual CO2 levels are right now, most likely probably you're going to consider what they wrote a farce, but some people wouldn't check it out. I've tried to check it out. I've had a couple of issues with my internet connection today. I've had to fix it twice so far, just trying to get everything together here. But basically, they're talking about this for the global cap and trade, and carbon taxes are needed. And they're saying in the article that it would start, obviously, with the European Union, United States, and China, and then it would kind of trickle off into other countries for the exporting of goods. Now, obviously, why, since United States is not manufacturing, we're more of a consumer country right now, throwing carbon taxes onto us, it's not going to really matter, even if the global climate change, even if that was a factor. Trying to shut down U.S. with the carbon tax, I mean, that's really an idiocy, because we don't have factories that use all these pollutants as much as other countries do, other third world countries that don't have any regulatory laws that prohibit them from doing things to the atmosphere and the air pollution. Now, this news article was off of Yahoo UK Ireland, so there's a couple articles right there you guys can go and check out. I will do my best to get some more articles up. Of course, like I always say, if anybody comes across anything, if there's an article, news, something you heard, something you read on a blog, whatever, you patch it through, we'll try to look at it, try to get a little bit of information, compile it, and we'll put it at you. You can always make your own decision on the whole thing. That's what it's all about, is just to get it out there. Everybody can infer, assume whatever they will, research and come up with proven fact, knowledge. And that's it for the first half. See if we can't come up with a couple of more parts before the whole day is over, but this is probably going to be it for this half of today's episode. So stay in, watch it.